Welcome to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast, where we unlock the power within and navigate the journey of your self-discovery together. I'm Shaz, your spiritual mentor and life coach, here to help you tap into your inner guidance system and manifest your best life. Whether you're just beginning your spiritual journey or looking to deepen your practice, this podcast offers insights, techniques, and inspiration to elevate your consciousness and transform your reality. Get ready to shine your light and embrace your true potential. Remember, the answers are inside you. Let me be your guide on earth. Welcome back to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast. Have you heard of pono? Up until a couple of years ago, I hadn't really heard of it myself, but once I discovered the process of it, it literally just changed my whole life. You may have seen it online, and it consists of 4 very simple phrases. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. And yes, those 4 phrases are more powerful than you'll ever realize. But what Ho'oponopono is not just a pretty quote or a graphic online. It is something to repeat, a mantra, not just because it sounds spiritual, but because it clears all the energy behind it. And when you do it properly, it can literally change your relationships with everyday people, deep traumatic traumas with family members, friends, or those in your past that have caused lasting wounds, and other simple aspects in life where you make a mistake and you need to forgive yourself so you don't create a story or a problem that's going to come back and haunt you later. There is a much deeper meaning behind the word Ho'oponopono, and it is a whole practice. I've been studying it for the last couple of years with Dr. Joe Vitale, and every time I do a lesson and do a few different things with it, it just changes my whole perspective. I do it constantly, and everyone I teach through my programs and my coaching say it changes their life as well. Now, you may not know what Ho'oponopono means. It's broken up into 3 sections of the word. First is the ho'o, which means to make. And pono is right, to make right, and it's to make right twice. And what that literally means is to make right between me and to make right between you. And when you're doing that, you're clearing all the cords, all the connection, all the drama, all the trauma, and going back to the soul-on-soul connection that we're all here to awaken to really come back and recognize that we are all different souls creating different roles in our lives for us to grow, elevate, evolve, transform, heal, and transition to who we're meant to be. And Ho'oponopono, when you make right between me and you bring everything back into balance. And this is when you know that the clearing can actually be held, not just a surface level thing or a passing thought, oh no, everything's okay. You actually make peace with what happened. It sets you free. Now, this does not mean you have to go and find the person that caused you harm, said or did the wrong thing, and sit them in front of you and do it face to face. It is more of a metaphysical, meditative visualization, journaling practice. It's a healing process for yourself. It's actually not really about the other person unless you want to rebuild a relationship with them. Now, some relationships we don't, and that's okay. But you need to forgive yourself in order to release it and find the peace, because otherwise that trauma and that unprocessed emotion will create disease in your body. And no one deserves that, right? This is literally a mantra or a prayer, and you repeat it. On YouTube, you can go and find it, the Ho'oponopono mantra, and there are 108 repetitions. That is how long it takes to clear it for you. And it is a magical, beautiful process. When I teach it in my classes, we do it through a meditation. And what we do is we visualize, and you can do a group collective healing all at the same time, is everyone that ever hurt you in front of you standing on a stage. And you etherically cut that big energy cord and practice the mantra. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. And when you do that, you're resetting and re-clearing any animosity, any judgment, any hatred, anything, anger, all of those horrible negative emotions that keep you tied to a person who literally has no idea what they've done. Or they may have conscious awareness of it, but many of them actually don't. It does not play in their mind anywhere near enough that it plays in yours. This is not about the other people. Yes, it's about making right with them, but it's literally for yourself. And the other powerful way to do this is through the journaling process. And when you do it through journaling, just sit quietly, grab your journal right in front of you, and find a problem. So I'll go back to one of my historical factors, and I've been doing a lot of work on this lately, and let's just unpack it, okay? So when I was a child, I wanted something, and as most adults do, they said no. Well, that actually creates a trauma, and you don't even realize that it does that until years later when you go and want something and you become too afraid to ask, and you create abundance blocks and problems receiving because you were once told no. And in your 3-year-old self, you made a decision that never to ask for anything again because I always get told no. Now, you may have just wanted a lolly at the shop and no one had any spare change and you were told no. You forgot to breathe, you hold it in, and you created a whole pattern and casted this spell upon yourself that locked you into a pattern of not receiving or not being able to get what you want, or your needs don't matter. And Ho'oponopono is one of the processes that can help you release this and let it go. So you visualize the person that did it. So for this scenario, I'm just going to use my godmother because this was the memory that I brought up. Now, I love this woman dearly. Unfortunately, she has passed away since, but I never realized I created a scenario when I wanted a lolly from the shop and there just wasn't time, money, or whatever it was to get it. And that's how simple it can be. And the little 2 or 3-year-old self turn around and gone, well, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, or created a pattern that doesn't need to be there and we need to clear it. So I'm sorry that I blamed you for restricting me, for saying no, for any thoughts that I created out of that. Please forgive me for not understanding that money was tight back then, that it wasn't always available, that I couldn't have everything I wanted in the instant that I wanted it. Thank you for teaching me, for giving to me, to showing up, for loving me, for all of that. And I love you really set you free because they made a pattern and created a mini trauma that years later played out in many different ways based on decisions that child made, doesn't mean that I hate them or don't care for them or have any problems with them. I love her dearly. She's the greatest teacher and mentor and the love of my life in so many ways for everything that she was for me. But that pattern made problems for me based on choices my 2-year-old unprocessed mind couldn't work through and didn't feel the upset and the hurt and later the shame that something so minor could have such a big effect on me. All of these things, by doing the process, can set you free. Now, it can go deeper than that for really deep traumas, and I've had plenty of those. We don't need to go through every single one, or it can be for the most minor things. Now, this process is so powerful that I've been, where you go out and you're just having a busy day, you go to the hairdresser, right? And she's there, and every time she does something, she's pulling on your hair and that yanks. And I have a very sensitive head, so every brush pull, is really frustrating and it's painful. Now, she's just in her unconscious mind because she had an argument with someone that she worked with, and there was a bit of a thing there and her frustration got taken out. She didn't express the emotions, and unfortunately she's taking out whilst blow drying my hair. Now, in that moment, I chose to cut the cords between us and just repeated the mantra, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, over and over and over again until the energy settled. And I feel it. Okay, you'll know when it settles. You literally run out of breath from saying it. You don't want to say it anymore. And then I opened up my heart chakra and I reconnected our cords back out of love. And all of a sudden, the gentleness come back in as she was blow drying my hair. And at the end of that session, she turned around and she said, "Wow, you have the most peaceful energy. You are so calm. I was a bit frustrated when I started, but I feel calm and I'm not sure why." This is the power of what this can do for people in community, in society. We can practice this energy, sending that frequency all around the globe. And if you do and you start clearing multitudes of energy, you're going to set yourself free, have better relationships. We can do it with anyone. And especially at the moment in the political environments around the world where everyone's getting on your nerves, cut the cords, practice Ho'oponopono, reconnect from love and find peace with it. Stop giving away your power so other people can cause disruption for you. So what Ho'oponopono is really about is returning to the right relationships. And it's not just the relationships with everyone else. The most important relationship of all is the one with yourself. You stop blaming yourself for overreacting and having problems where they don't need to be, creating frustrations where you don't want them, self-sabotaging things that you want, and not knowing why you do these things that cause eruptions and problems with other people. And it's taking back your memories and your understanding of the lessons that were created in those times and how you can rewrite them and change decisions made from a mind that didn't know what it was doing. But those powerful decisions sat in our unconscious mind, in the back of our mind, and play a part in our lives today. It doesn't have to be that way. And in doing so, as you clear this and you realize all these different relationships, you start building a better relationship with your higher self, your spirit, with God, your ancestors, your soul, your family, and every single person around you. Because your body that was holding on to that energy, that pain, that niggle, that problem, all of a sudden finds safety and healing and security. And that is the most powerful thing that you can ever give to yourself, to find that resolution of a problem that really didn't have that big of an impact until we created it so. And in our children, when we are telling them no and not giving them what they want, we don't realize the unconscious patterns, decisions, and choices that get made in those moments that can have effects years down the track. Now, in the past couple of weeks, I've been doing some healing on myself because I'm forever healing. I have so many things to overcome. And I love the process of it because I learn new aspects about self. I didn't remember this little 2-year-old story where I literally wanted, like, I think it was a cover or chocolate or something from the shop and I was told no. And then I made a story that I was a bad girl because I didn't deserve it or whatever bullshit that got created in that 2-year-old mind from not getting what she wanted. And the discovery that that is having an impact on how I receive and how abundance flows to me and how things occur in my life and the problems and the people that I attract has been like mind-blowing, totally mind-blowing in opening up awareness further than I ever could. Now, the awareness was found in a totally different way, but naturally, my own learning and my own skills and my transformation practices and processes that I use on a daily and weekly basis, the Ho'oponopono aspect come to me straight away of how to make peace with it. So I sat with it, I felt it, I remembered it, and I gave that forgiveness to it. Because the guilt that was getting processed right then and there of thinking that I made this story about my favorite person in the world hurt. And it hurt so bad because that was someone that loved me. And sometimes I didn't let them love me enough because I didn't know how. Because I taught myself that anything that I was said no to or caused harm equated to me being a bad person. and that I was unworthy of love. And that opening, if I could viscerally explain it to you of how I feel today and how I feel right now based on that, I will never be that same person again. I do not need to beat myself up for things that I didn't do, that I wasn't responsible for, that my young mind didn't know better. And because there was no one to nurture me out of it and to walk me through it and to show me that it didn't have to be that way, that got cemented in my psyche. And let me tell you, it's caused a whole heap of problems in my life throughout that life. And now I finally feel free. And this is why I wanted to share this practice over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to share the other stuff that I'm learning. It's a bit too early to share it now because I literally started it this last week. But my God, the way it blows my mind on a whole visceral level of my soul, of finally understanding how I drop back into the lizard brain, the lower aspects of the brain, of the mind, and stop creating and believing that I could have everything that I desired. I've been working on manifestation and mindset for a long time, and it always just felt out of reach. And I can tell you right now, it no longer does. And this clearing process that I will do over the coming weeks, because I know it takes at least 21 days to cement transformation. And this practice is so important to me for my own growth, for my own self-awareness, that I will definitely put the action and effort into it. I'm so excited about it. You have no idea how amazing it feels and the understanding of what I'm going to create from here. And it all starts with a simple hook. So there's a part of me that's stuck in that timeline attached to that incident, and I can now cut that cord, embody her, embrace her, bring her forward with that memory cleared, that one denial didn't hurt us as bad as we made it out to be. That one denial was only literally like the icing on the cake. There were so many other underwritten stories there, patterns played out, because already by that time I'd had a whole heap of abandonment and rejection and stories that I created through no fault of my own because I wasn't aware. And awareness and understanding is the greatest gift of transformation that we can give. And Ho'oponopono helps you become strong, bring you back to center, and clear the situation for good. Okay, it's not something you have to do over and over again. You clear it and it sets you free. You just have to go find the 500 million other little traumas that got created along the way. Now, this training is so powerful because it's work that is so simple. And many people equate simple with shallow. The most powerful shift and change or transformation that you can create in your own life is awareness, which is the most shallow of all. I'm just noticing it, paying attention to it, giving it space. And then Ho'oponopono and the practices, whether it's emotion code, EFT, affirmations, healing, kinesiology, all of those other beautiful healing modalities that help you bring it all into alignment. Just because they do make it easy in the end doesn't mean that they're simple, shallow, or hollow. They actually create the biggest change of all. But it's based on you being completely, bluntly open, honest, and vulnerable with yourself. You have to get to root core. You have to get to the truth. You have to own the pain. That doesn't mean hold on to it forever and keep it inside you. Lock it down so that it stays with you. Acknowledge it, surrender it, release it, and do the work, the mantra, and allow it to clear it all away. It's like erasing an old memory from the blackboard and inserting a seed of what the powerful lesson you got out of it is to bring you to where you are. because where you are truly matters. And it does simply start with those 4 phrases. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And when you truly say them with intention and feeling and honesty, you begin to feel the change in your body. It starts in your body. The physical feels the shift first. Then you're going to feel it through your chakras. And then you feel it through the emotional body. Then the mental body, all the way through to the spiritual body. It changes you inside and out. You deserve to no longer feel that old story. You're worth the effort. This process of cord cutting, breathing, centering yourself, and holding the forgiveness within you, when you cut those cords and surrender it all, breathing love back into you, changes you. It is not always going to change the other person. It will have an impact. It depends on how aware they are. But we're not here to heal everybody else. We're here to take care of ourselves first. And the best miracle that you can create is to stop carrying burdens that were never yours to create or carry in the first place. So I want to break down the 4 phrases because this is where people can get stuck. Okay, the first phrase, I'm sorry. This does not mean you're in the wrong. You're not taking ownership for all of it. You didn't do anything wrong. This is about acknowledging the pain that exists between you and someone else, or the burden that you've carried for so long, the inability to see the growth, the lesson, the awareness, the abandonment of self in that situation. Other times, I'm sorry could be about the part you played in it, of the time you hurt someone, inadvertently said something to someone else that hurt them deeply, or you were the person that said no and created the mini trauma. And it's usually because you didn't understand the impact that it was having at the time. And that really matters. Okay? Life is a balance. It's a 2-sided story on everything. Trust me, when you clear all the things other people did to you, you got to turn it all around and start clearing all the things you did to other people. Trust me, there's no one perfect out there that's never harmed, hurt, or burdened somebody else. We do it to each other. It's part of the soul journey. It is why we are here on earth in the first place. It's not about making you shameful, taking blame, or holding on to anything that you've done. It's about releasing you, surrendering it away, and shifting your perspective on what happened and the role your soul had to play. We don't learn through oneness, through individuality. We learn by things done to, for us, through us, by us, all about us. And people have to play roles in that. They're selected by us before we come. They choose to participate, and then we build stories of where we hate them for it. It's not the way it's meant to be. When you sit with your life and you find places where you've hurt people, and most of the time it's not on purpose, but even if it is, you still deserve forgiveness, release, clarity, certainty, and belief in self that you can let it go. Most of the time it's through immaturity, scarcity, fear, defensiveness, selfishness, being shut down, completely unaware of the impact that you had. I can guarantee you my godmother had no idea saying no to a lolly caused the trauma. And I'm telling you, every parent out there has done it at one time in their life. The impact occurred, and it matters. And Ho'oponopono is not only about forgiving everyone else, It's about forgiving yourself. Did you cause harm? Have you judged, dismissed, ignored, or wounded someone else? Are there aspects of your behavior that need clearing? Do you have habits or addictions that are harmful to yourself or others? It's not about shaming you, it's about being accountable. This is why the second phase, please forgive me, really matters. It's also please forgive me or I forgive you, depending on what you're allowing. Now, when we say I forgive you, we're usually saying I forgive you for doing XYZ to me. The opposite aspect of that is please forgive me for allowing you to do XYZ to me. Because the only way I could learn the outcome, which we'll call ABC, was that you did that to me. In simple terms, you can't learn a boundary until someone oversteps a boundary. And we hate the person that oversteps it, that pushes us too far, that triggers us, that gaslights us. We can't learn what we'll take or tolerate until they do too much. But sometimes you have to get to the stage where they do too much before you put a stop to it. Because you don't know what too much is, usually until too late. And that creates an inner war within ourselves where we beat ourselves up, create shame, blame, say that we made it happen. We cause all sorts of internal stories that are really impactful but are actually untrue. If you have to go through certain experiences in life to learn, it's the only true way to do it, right? Because you can never know what you don't know until you do know it. Yes, I know it's a tongue tire. In simple terms, we don't ever blame ourselves for never knowing how to tie our shoes when we're 1 or 2 year old, but we learn how to do it through practice, through diligence, through patience. And once you learn, you never go back, right? It's that aspect of, do you punish yourself and hold on to unforgiveness because you never knew how to tie your shoes? Well, how can you know until someone teaches you? Same as dressing yourself, feeding yourself, learning the language, whatever language you're learning. All of these things can create stories or outcomes or beliefs that can have a massive impact on today. We've all been through school, and I'm pretty sure, like I wouldn't 100% guarantee it, but I'd 98.9% guarantee every one of you has had a teacher that's criticized you in some way. You didn't do this right, you didn't spell it right, the mathematics is wrong, the letters are wrong, the colors are wrong. There has to be some aspect where you were judged on an incompletion or a misunderstanding or a knowledge of not knowing what it was. And there's stories around that. Those stories hold a greater lesson depending on what breathing mechanism you got into when you receive the criticism. It creates a burden. You carry it with you. Nobody ever learns to spell the first time. It takes repetition. It takes lots of learning. But we give ourselves time and credit to children. Adults have the same experiences and we don't give them as much grace. There are so many different areas that you can look at the forgiveness that you're seeking about what they've done to you, you've done to them, how you've held it within or outside of God, yourself, your soul, your spirit, or the memory of life itself. But holding on to unforgiveness creates, in my opinion, the greatest disease and discomfort in your body. Not forgiving someone for hurting you or doing you a wrong or causing a problem in your life does not hurt them in any way, shape, or form. Let me tell you, it screws you over. You deserve to be set free. So a simple prayer can be, please forgive me for the harm I caused when I did not know how to do better. because there are many times where we've said and done things because we didn't know the outcome. It's only a big problem if you continue to do it knowing that it's hurting someone. But that also deserves clearance. That also deserves clearing. And you can forgive yourself for that too. Now, when we look at saying thank you, I can't tell you how hard it can be to say this to someone that caused you pain. And we're not actually saying, thank you, I'm so glad that you hurt me. Thank you for the lesson because I had to learn it some way or another. But what we're saying is, thank you for the situation that was hard to handle because it taught me a new boundary. It revealed a wound I didn't know that was there. It helped me see that I was carrying something that wasn't mine. It showed me where I gave away power where I didn't have to. And thank you to the soul, and especially those souls who taught us the harshest lessons, because they get all our hate, all our blame, all our shame, all our guilt, all our frustration, all our anger. When all they did really was teach us what we needed to learn. Part of the soul experience is coming to feel things. The problem is we go, I want to know what that feels like so I can forgive them and set myself free. Then we forget and then we create trauma where it doesn't need to be. Soul lessons can be harsh, and your human self doesn't always enjoy it, let me tell you. There's plenty I never enjoyed. But in it, I am grateful for each and every one because I would not be who I am right now. And I love who I am right now. I love the life I'm building. I love the experiences that I'm taking. I love how I learn. And this is where the I love you comes into it. Love the person who helped you struggle to get stronger. And trust me, that was a huge one for me to overcome. I hated the word strength. It was brutal. But I do love all of those souls that taught me lessons. I do love every interaction that I've had with people. I love the good parts and I even love the bad parts. Because in loving that, it's accepting that the evolution that we create on earth and the ascension through our spiritual pathways and the understanding and peace that we create on our cyclic journey of remembering who we really are is the greatest gift and experience of life that we ever have. Saying I love you is not talking about their behavior or justifying what they did as being okay. It's about understanding that the only way those lessons could be learnt was through those actions. It's a soul love level. It's a different level of love. It is completely different to the so-called unconditional love that we all supposedly aspire to. Because trust me, not all love is unconditional. There are plenty of conditions out there. But acceptable and accepting love of understanding that their only role was to help you become even more than you ever could have been, that's what matters. Betrayal at a human level is very hard to release. So is abandonment, manipulation, hurt, or disappointment. But when you look at it through the perspective of the soul, you can see the greater picture, and that is the way you can learn to release it. It's not about giving them access to do it again. No way. It's about understanding, accepting, and realizing that soul had a role to play, and it's how you counteract that role, how you show up with boundaries, with the way you either accept or deny what they're offering. Sometimes souls have to come and give us bad things so we can learn to say no for our own well-being, our own growth, and to take action to become even greater than before. There are many roles that souls can play in the growth of your human mind that you could ever understand at any single time. It is as you awaken so much more that you realize the bigger play and the roles that people have had in order to bring you to where you are. You don't have to take all this on board, and I know that you may struggle to represent it all and bring it into the human capacity right now. But just be curious about it. Consider, what roles have you played at a soul level that you can learn from and help them understand how you are learning as well, and reclaim that essence of self. We're not here to create trauma every time. We're not here to be a punching bag for anybody else, but we are here to learn to navigate scenarios. And to get those scenarios to occur at a higher perspective, we create agreements with souls. Somebody has to do the hard thing for us to work through the scenario. Think of it like a role play. Someone has to be the bad person. You have to be the good person. You don't know how you're going to react until you play out the roles. That is what the human experience is all about. You don't learn discernment until someone betrays you. You don't discover patience until you're frustrated and angry and disturbed. Okay? Most people don't find boundaries until they're encountered with someone that's very controlling. You can be overgiving and not even realizing it until you start to realize that someone just keeps taking from you. And if they didn't take from you, then you wouldn't realize that you are overgiving. Relationships, when they play out and pan out and you find a partner is not giving you what you want or showing up in the way that you expect, or you're over demanding, usually becomes because you haven't realized those aspects of where you chose yourself, or you're chasing after something that you were denied in childhood. The human part causes the problem because it learns to hate us and say, why did I have to learn it that way? Why did it have to be so brutal? But if you do delve deeper, go and look at it as a soul level, you start to loosen the grip of it and you surrender the trauma, gain the lesson, and set yourself free. There is so much more to the perspective of the lesson than you give yourself credit for, and Ho'oponopono helps you clean your side of the energy so that you can stop dragging that story with you. It doesn't take away accountability, and it certainly doesn't allow you to restrict your boundaries so people can still continue to hurt you, abuse you, manipulate you, or treat you badly. We don't have to put up with any of that. You can leave. You can block someone. You can walk away. All of these things matter. Sometimes people have to do the most atrocious things before we find that boundary and walk away for our own self-esteem, because of the underwriting story, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve better, I'm here to put up with this, I'm so bad that this is acceptable behavior. It doesn't have to be that way. You never have to put yourself in an unsafe situation simply because your soul is teaching you something. But you can't give yourself the clarity or the understanding to realize you don't have to be that beaten down or broken down until you start clearing away the patterns that are underlying creating that. When you start looking at soul level perspective, it gives you freedom to release energetic hooks, but at the same time realize the human level reality still requires boundaries, action, and wisdom. You can love someone and not give them access anymore. That's where the real power lies. When you're making right with me and making right with you, the true power and meaning of Ho'oponopono. So ho'o is to make, pono, right twice again, does not mean you have to do this work face to face. It does not mean you have to stop sending resentment every time someone does something to you. It means you just return their energy back to them and return yours back to you. Call your energy back. Put up barriers so that you don't have to keep receiving unwarranted behaviors. And finally, hurt the feelings that are underneath. Telling yourself, I was hurt. I stayed too long. Sometimes I caused the pain. Not knowing how to love yourself. You can choose peace. Making it right doesn't mean forgiving that person to set them free to do it all over again. It means forgiving that person so that you can release yourself. And forgiving the younger version of you, the earlier version of you, and that can be that version yesterday who didn't know better until they did. It means releasing the pain associated to the problem. You don't own the problems. They don't need to stay with you. You can lessen the hold. You can set yourself free. You can clear it. You can create peace. This doesn't force the other person to change, because don't even bother. It's up to them to clear what's inside them. It's about clearing what's inside you. And you do that with one simple process. Find where the pain lies. Where does it show up? Is there a body ache? Is there a problem? Notice where you feel it. Locate it and then cut that cord, cut that energy connection. It can be in your heart. It can be in your throat, your solar plexus, in your side. Imagine the person sitting in front of you. Cut that energy cord and then practice the freeing, the clearing phrases. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Name the emotions that you're clearing. They could be guilt, resentment, fear, obligation, grief, anger, control, unfinished business. Name what it is. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And breathe. Deep breaths into your tummy and out. That audible sigh can release so much. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Let the words move through the cord. As it gets cut, softens, returns to them. You can even say things like, I release you, I release me, I return my energy back to me, and I return your energy back to you. I choose peace now. I'm sorry. Thank you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. The good part about it is you don't have to say it in order. I mix them up all the time. Sometimes I'll sit there and go, thank you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you. Sometimes I have to start with I love you depending on the person and the situation. Because sometimes I'm asking for them to forgive me. But it's about releasing unhealthy attachments with love and finality. This is why journaling is so important, because when you write it down, you're getting deeper into the root cause of it. You're really digging beneath the surface. Sit with the memory, the person, or the situation. Write their name on a piece of paper and ask, what am I still carrying here? What about this situation still triggers me? Is there any part of me wanting to be witnessed? Did I abandon myself? Was there a lesson ready to be received? And for those questions, write the 4 phrases as prompt. I'm sorry for, fill it out. Please forgive me for, fill it out. Thank you for, and I love you because. You can write letters, you can write to the younger version of self. You can go and collect your inner child that's stuck in your timeline on all different versions. This process can be done about your body, your physical well-being, your money, relationships, decisions of regret, old versions of you, connections, family members, friends, strangers. You can do this process on something so minor that you're carrying in the back of your mind of bumping into someone or pushing them out of the way to race onto a bus or anything that is causing you disruption. Because what it does, it gives the unconscious mind a place to release what's looping silently in the background. Because that silent loop is causing all your blocks, your restraints, your problems, and the recycling of lessons. When you do it, you're going to feel such surprise at different things and episodes that come up. And you go, oh my God, that was so stupid and minor. But it creates a loop that you can't get away from. And this is where you have to come back to love and self-love. Say, I'm sorry for judging yourself so harshly, hardly, just judging yourself at all. Forgive yourself for ignoring your own needs, abandoning yourself, not standing up for yourself, not saying no, not walking away sooner, not putting your needs first, for fading into the background. Thank yourself for living through it, surviving it, struggling, absorbing it all, by overcoming it and still getting out of bed tomorrow. And love yourself by learning to treat yourself with more kindness, more respect, and more understanding. If you want to do it on a relationship level, I'm sorry for the pain I brought from my old relationships into this connection. How many of you need to own that one? Please forgive me for not giving this situation the attention it deserves, the peace, and the honesty. Where did you start in the relationship from? Thank you for showing me what boundaries are needed, showing me love, connection, understanding, acceptance, and love them at a soul level. If it's over a relationship ending, release the energetic hold the person has over you. If it's childhood wounds, go and nurture your inner child and remind it all the aspects that it had to go through. It may have felt alone. Tell it you're sorry for leaving it alone, for blaming it for what it didn't understand, for making decisions that it didn't know any better. Thank it for surviving, for getting through it, for growing up. And love it the way that it's needed to be loved, with everything in you, seeing it completely, wholly, and appreciating the effort and the struggle that it went through. There are so many areas where you can practice this. I love doing it on money. Changed my world. So much more money started flowing after I did so. Relationships, friendships, all of that. I do it on my body. I do it on every aspect of life. And some days it feels really hard because sometimes we don't want to stop pointing the finger. Sometimes we don't want to clear what was, and sometimes we want to hold on to our judgments, our problems, and become the victim that we were made to feel like. And sometimes we self-sabotage ourselves to get there. This is not about deciding who is right and wrong. This is about understanding that you were hurt, that someone failed you. Apologies need to be made. Things need to be fixed. And trust me, very rarely are you ever going to get the other person to do all of that for you. You have to find the freedom and willingness to do it for yourself and look at your energy, about how you reacted from your pain. What did those harsh words do to you to make you act differently? How did you then judge, or where were you judged, or what was said to make you feel small? Have there ever been times where you dismissed someone else's feelings because you got stuck in the loop of your own? Or even those situations where you've asked for forgiveness and that person is unwilling to offer it. That's a deep one. When you want someone else to forgive you for something you've done and they're not willing to do the work, that sits in the heart chakra. It hurts so deeply. And it can be hard to shift. You can see it and feel it even as I'm talking about it. But the only real person that you need forgiveness from is from yourself. You set yourself free. Stop giving your power to them. It's not about what was done to you. It's about what you may have done to others as well. And that's where the real maturity lives in. So if you're ready to start clearing away your problems, take personal responsibility for it, and speed up your healing journey, start practicing Ho'oponopono. Make right with yourself. Make right with someone else. And practice peace, release, responsibility, and the energetic cleaning. This is not about blame or bypassing or pretending hurtful behavior was okay. It's about surrendering it, letting it go, clearing it so that you're not burdened down by it anymore, by setting yourself free. You deserve to be free. Your soul deserves lightness, clarity, love. It's about you. Cut your cords, release the charge on your level, and return to love at that soul level so you can finally breathe. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Use it gently, honestly, and with discernment. And remember, you're not broken. Everything you need is inside of you. And you deserve freedom, peace, and clarity. Until next time. Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below so you don't miss an episode. You can also follow us on Facebook with the links below. Until next time, trust your intuition and let your spirit soar.